that's probably one of the wisdoms, pearls of wisdom that's inside of the Imam saying to break your fast when you are traveling. Okay? So, alhamdulillah.
Next question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so concerning the making up of the fast when you decide to go out to feed the 10 people, right? What is considered feeding one person? Is it like, I'll give you a juice and a sandwich?
Right. So they have your scholar would actually have a dollar amount. The last time I checked, the dollar amount was like $7 to $10. The last time I checked, right? But I think everybody's basing it off of $10 now. Even amongst Sunni schools, it's like $10 now. So $10 per meal. That's what you basically say. So look at it that way. So a person eat whatever your culture dictates to you. Like we're a 3-day meal culture, 3 meal a day culture. So just think $30. That's how you kind of do it. Right? Of course, if you're in another land, you're in Africa, you're in Alaska, you're someplace in the Philippines, you might just eat one time a day. So that in those cultures, then you go by that monetary system, how they do it. Make sense? So this is
for the whole day.
Yeah. So for the day. So in our culture, it'll probably be like $30 a day, because we're going to eat $7 to $10 worth of food.
So you're saying 10 morning, 10 midday, 10. Oh.
No. Yeah. Right. 10 for the morning, 10 per meal. Right. Correct. All right. Make sense?
So how could you translate that if you just cook a big pot and hand out food?
So same thing. So look at how much money you would pay for the grocery, and then look at it that way.
Oh.
So you could always make it like, do it wise. Do it in a way where it makes sense to your culture and it makes sense to you. All right? Because there's no absolute specific way. It just means that you have to know and be fair about it in your own mind and your own heart, because you're being judged. Because basically you're dealing with a kafir at that point, right? You know that you did something wrong, and you're trying to correct it, peace of Allah. So you don't want to cheat it. You want to make sure you do it right. All right? So that your fast is accepted. Okay? All right, any other questions about anything we talked about? Or anything else anybody got problems with or need to talk about? Things creeping up on your body and your soul?
Hey, when you were speaking, menstruation is 1 day for 1 day.
Yeah. So he asked me, when a woman is menstruating, they fast for the days that they menstruate, right, in another time period. So after the month of Ramadan is over, if a woman has a 3-day mens, then she fasts 3 days after the month of Ramadan. If she has a 10-day mens, she fasts 10 days after the month of Ramadan. The meat goes up, okay? All right, alhamdulillah. That's our class. If y'all don't have any questions.
Wow. I heard that conversation we should have story.
Okay. So you're supposed to stop about 15 minutes to 20 minutes before the adhan is called, before true sunrise. All right, so everything goes back. So now you have to look how the sun is coming off of the horizon. So once the sun hits the horizon, that now means you got to stop eating. Right here. When it's right there, that's when you stop eating. All right. So now by the time you get up to about here, you already know they're gonna start calling you adhan, right? That's when the adhan they call. So you gotta stop when it's about right here. So it's about 20 to 15 minutes till. So look at the time that the adhan is going to be called on your calendar or your whatever you have to know on your phone, and then go down 15, 20 minutes and stop then. All right. So don't eat all the way up to the adhan. I know people do that, but don't eat all the way up to the adhan. If you eat all the way up to the adhan, your fast is okay, but it's not part of the sunnah. All right. The Prophet will stop 20 minutes, 15 minutes till. If you eat up to the adhan, again, your fast is in order. It's not like you lost your fast, okay? But you shouldn't. The sunnah is to stop about 15 to 20 minutes before you get there. Okay? Alhamdulillah. That made any of this made sense to y'all?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. All right. If nothing else, we'll go ahead and close out our class and get ready to do
It's before dusk. So, what about other phases of the sun before it's all the way dusk or sunset?
So what are you asking?
So basically, even if it's halfway,
Right.
so
On the line, like
yeah, you
on the
start
horizon.
the line, you had the sun above the line, then you had it below the line.
Right.
But then sometimes it can be in the middle of that.
Sure, then it's not time to break the fast yet. So the easiest way is don't worry about that line. Just worry about where it is over your head. So wherever you be, like if you just don't know, just go outside. If you happen to be in California, you ain't never been to California before, you don't know what it is, right? All you know is you're looking out, you're like, man, it's about time. Let me see. How do I know? You go outside and you look. So you look outside, you say, okay, let me see where the sun is setting at. Okay, I found it. All right, the sun is setting over here. So now you know that's the west. All right? So when you see where the sun is setting, you already know that's west. So all you got to do is go exactly where that sun is and just do an about face. Now that's east. So now you look at that eastern sky and you watch the blackness of that eastern sky until it's over your head. That's all you got to concern yourself with. And when that eastern sky is black, from there, equally black over your head, time to break your fast. Just that simple. All right? So now that sun, where it is over there, that don't mean nothing. Don't worry about that part. Just turn your back on the sun and go eastward. And then look at what the eastern sky is talking about, okay? That's how you tell. All right? Everybody got that? Y'all got, that's a cheat sheet right there, man. You can always get it right with that one. You can always get it right. Okay, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. All right, we'll go ahead and close out. It is El Hajj Malik El Shabaz's birthday. And what I wanted to do is tie in Malcolm X's birthday to the 3 stages of nafs. So when we talk about the nafs, what we're talking about is the soul or the self. And that self has 3 stages, 3 basic stages. Of course, amongst our ulama and amongst those who deal in the spiritual sciences, they're saying that there are many levels of nafs, right? But there are 3 basic nafs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about in the Quran Kareem. That's the lower nafs, which is called nafs amara. Then you have the middle nafs, which is called the nafs lawamna, which is a self-accusing spirit. And then you have the highest form of nafs, which is called nafs mutmainah. That's the soul that's at peace and at rest with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Malcolm X was one of those individuals in our lifetime or in our era that we can look at that actually went through all 3 stages. So inshallah, I'm going to give a little synopsis of Malcolm X's life and how it ties into the nafs. Today we would like to highlight Malcolm X's full spiritual evolution on his birthday. His life is a good example of someone moving through 3 stages of nafs mentioned in the various ayah of Quran. Malcolm started his life as a person that struggled. Those of us who come from this culture, we already know that, what the struggle is for black people, for black Americans. Malcolm's struggle was very much like our struggle. The same way that we came up, most of us came up poor or working class. Malcolm X came up working class. He had a father and a mother. They had jobs, but they struggled, just like African Americans mostly do. But after the death of his father, Malcolm X's mother she showed or she displayed signs of mental illness, and of course the children at certain points started to become wayward. And this waywardness took Malcolm into some sin. So at this juncture in Malcolm's life, like it is in a lot of our lives, this is that part of time where without very, very tight guidance from our families, we can start to kind of listen to the streets and we start to learn to do things on an animal level, all right? We learn to do what we have to do to eat. We do what we have to do to clothe ourselves. We do what we have to do to get along in the society. And we see a lot of that in the American society. Unfortunately, that type of lifestyle is not good. Most times, that lifestyle is outright evil. Of course, we have to take into account that we do have a learning curve. So as we start to evolve as human beings, of course we have a learning curve. We also have information from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad concerning learning curve activities. Our Prophet told us that until you really adult, a mature adult, that your sins kind of don't count against you. That a lot of those types of sins, learning curve sins, they get forgiven. And that when you become mature, then of course now you're caught by your sins, right? But at this early stage of Malcolm's life, he did what a lot of us did do. He started to make a way, and he started to make a way for himself. Unfortunately, that took him into a life of pride. So at this stage, Malcolm is exhibiting the nafs amara. He's exhibiting that lower stage of the self, or the lower stage of the soul, where you figured, hey, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. You know, I know what society says is right and wrong, and I know my mom taught me about, you know, the good book. She taught me about God, or Jesus Christ, or Muhammad. But you know what, right now, I'm trying to get that money. And you guys heard that in society. Everybody has a justification. On every wrong we do, we have a justification by way of money, right? You hear all of the rap songs, all of the music, it's in the popular culture. Hell, it's an American culture. So whatever you do, so make sure you're making some money. And if you're making some money, then all is well, right? That's the way the society teaches us. But that's not correct by the way of those who are divine, right? For those of us who believe in Allah, who believe in the prophetic order, and who believe in the prophetic mission, we have to back away from that type of mindset. That's the mindset of the materialists. That's the mindset of the devils. Just because you can make money off of it, don't mean that you should make money off of it. There are people who shake their booties in public or in clubs because they're trying to make some money. There are men who sell drugs to their own people, even their own family members, because they try to make some money. And we have a whole culture built around people doing all sorts of things because they try to make some money. And Malcolm was caught up in this culture. And for those who know Malcolm's life, he actually peddled drugs. That ended up getting him, along with the breaking and entry, he was breaking into people's homes and actually stealing their wares and going out their door and selling the stuff. Taking it to a fence. A fence is a place where you take the stolen goods to, a person, and that person pay you. And then they sell the wares to whoever they have to sell it, whatever it is you stole. Malcolm was doing all of this back in his young life. But this is when he was moving to that stage of his life in the lower self, in the lower nafs, in the lower soul. Then he got pinched and he had to go to the penitentiary. Once Malcolm got to jail, then he moved into the second stage of his life, which was nafs, what we would call nafs lawamna. Now he's at a stage in his life where he's saying to himself, wait a minute, now I'm in a cage because of the stuff that I did wrong, and I got here because of my own idiocy. I have to do better. I got to change my life. Malcolm was also a drug addict. Not only was he a dealer, he was an addict. So even in prison, he had an opportunity to do some contemplation and some meditation about his life. And this is where he met disciples of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Also, one of his brothers would come and visit him, and his brother would help him with the lessons that were coming out of the Nation of Islam at that time. So now, with the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and his interpretation of Islam, Malcolm gets turned on. And now he starts to do what men do and what human beings do at this stage. You question yourself. You become introspective. You start to think about your life and how you went from where you were as a child to where you are presently, especially if you're in a bad situation. So alhamdulillah, through the teachings of the Nation of Islam at that time, Malcolm was able to become a Muslim. So now he gets to the point where he knows, I have to leave off these bad actions. I've got to leave away these sins. And I have to do better in my life. I want to do better, and I want to take what I have and then introduce it now to a family and introduce it to the greater society. And it was at this juncture where Malcolm X became Elijah Muhammad's top minister. When he got out of prison, he started to work hard as a young captain, and he went up the ranks of the Nation of Islam, and before you knew it, the Nation of Islam went to something like 4,000, 5,000 people, and it went up to 75,000 people dealing with Malcolm X alone. Some people estimate that it went higher than that. It went up to like 100,000 people. Allah is the best knower. But at any rate, some of the basic facts we have about Malcolm X is that when he came to the Nation of Islam, they only had about 5,000 members. And because of his hard work and what he put into the nation, They had about 75,000 by the time he was excommunicated from the nation. So this goes to show you that Malcolm X was going through his own evolution. Even with those teachers, which was not a holistic teaching of Islam. It was a partial teaching of Islam. Some people might say it was even a heterodox teaching of Islam. If you want to look at it as a heterodoxy, right? Something that's not sit or holy and orthodoxy. Either way, that was enough teaching to fire up Malcolm's mind and fire up his heart. So he evolved to that next stage of his narrative.